Once upon a time, in the northern direction, there was a huge kingdom named Luminostra. The king of that land, Nathaniel, was brave, powerful, and very just. He had 3 sons, and the youngest was Prince Orlando. Orlando was handsome, courageous, and kind-hearted. He loved his people deeply. Whenever a problem came, he always stepped forward to solve it himself. The prince enjoyed going hunting, but he never harmed innocent animals. He only liked walking in forests, climbing mountains, and admiring nature. That was his kind of hunting. One night, when the full moon was shining brightly, Prince Orlando couldn't sleep. He went to the roof of the palace to walk. Suddenly, far away in the sky, he saw a strange and rainbow magical light. The light was so beautiful that his heart stopped for a moment. Slowly, that shining light began moving toward the royal garden. Orlando quickly ran down the stairs and reached the garden. What he saw there, he had never seen in his life. Suddenly, the light vanished, and in front of her stood a huge peacock in the middle of the garden. Its wings had 9 different colors: red, blue, green, golden, and many more. When moonlight fell on those wings, it looked as if a rainbow had come down to the earth. The prince stood amazed. The peacock also looked at him, then slowly opened its wings and began dancing. Its dance was so beautiful that tears came into Orlando's eyes, tears of pure joy. After some time, the peacock prepared to fly. Realizing it would leave, Orlando stepped forward to catch it, but the peacock quickly flew away. The prince called out loudly, "Stop! Where are you going?" But the peacock disappeared into the sky. Next morning, the prince was called by his father. Orlando told King Nathaniel everything that happened at night. The king said, "My son, this might be a divine sign, but you shouldn't follow that peacock. Who knows where it may lead you?" But Orlando's heart was already lost in the magic of the peacock. He said, "Father, please allow me to see that peacock again. I feel it appeared before me for a reason." Seeing his son's restlessness, the king agreed. "All right, you may go, but be careful and return soon." The prince prepared his black horse named Simba, took some food, water, and a sword, and set out early in the morning to search for the 9-colored peacock. At the garden, he found a few feather marks and followed them. He crossed thick forests, rivers, and mountains. Along the way, he met an old shepherd and asked him, "Have you seen a 9-colored peacock?" The old man laughed. "Son, I've never seen such a peacock. But in the south, there is a deep forest with strange creatures. Maybe your peacock went there." Orlando thanked him and continued south. After 2 days, he reached the dark forest. The trees were so tall that even sunlight couldn't enter. It was silent and frightening, but the prince did not give up. As evening came, he sat under a tree to rest. Suddenly, the same magical light appeared again. The peacock returned. The prince jumped with joy and ran toward it. This time, the peacock looked at him and seemed to signal, "Follow me." It flew slowly, and Orlando ran behind it for hours. Tired but determined, he continued until they reached a large, clear lake surrounded by lotus flowers. The peacock landed and drank water. Orlando moved closer, hoping to catch it, but suddenly the peacock jumped into the lake. The prince was shocked, thinking it would drown. Bubbles rose from the water, and a bright light appeared. The peacock vanished. In its place, a beautiful woman rose from the lake, so beautiful that even the moon looked pale beside her. Her long, wet hair fell to her waist, and an unusual sadness shone in her eyes. Orlando, was speechless. He gathered courage and asked, "Who are you, and where did the 9-colored peacock go?" Tears filled the woman's eyes. "That peacock was me," she said softly. "I am Princess Genevieve. I am cursed. Every full moon I turn into a peacock." The prince couldn't believe it. "How is this possible? Who cursed you?" Princess Genevieve sighed deeply. "I am the princess of Moonspire in the east. Years ago, a sage came to our palace asking for alms. I was upset that day and spoke rudely to him. He was actually a great rishi, and my insult angered him. He cursed me to become a peacock every full moon until a true lover guards me the whole night without falling asleep. Only then will the curse break." She broke into tears. The prince's heart melted. "Do not cry, princess. I will help you. I will find a way to break your curse." Genevieve looked at him carefully and asked, "Who are you, and why did you follow me?" The prince smiled. "I am Orlando of Luminastra. When I saw you as the peacock last night, I was captivated by your beauty. I didn't know you were a princess. Now that I know, I cannot leave you suffering." For the first time, Genevieve saw truth in someone's eyes. She smiled gently. She said, "If you truly want to help me, go to the western mountain. Sage lives in a cave at the top. He may give a solution." Orlando agreed at once, but Genevieve held his hand. "Not now, it's night. We'll go in the morning, and be careful. He has a short temper. Speak politely." They rested near the lake and talked all night, sharing stories of their families and kingdoms. Next morning, Genevieve said she would accompany him. They called Orlando's horse Simba, who came running. Genevieve petted him, and the horse happily neighed. Together, they rode toward the mountains. On the way, they stopped by a river to drink water. Suddenly, a large bear came out of the bushes. Genevieve hid behind Orlando, frightened. The prince drew his sword, but soon noticed a big thorn stuck in the bear's paw. He gently removed it. The bear roared in pain, but then felt relief. It placed its head on Orlando's feet to thank him. Genevieve smiled. "You are truly kind." By evening, they reached the foot of the mountain. The climb was hard and rocky. Genevieve slipped several times, but Orlando held her hand each time. After 2 long hours, they reached the cave. A fierce old lion guarded the entrance. "Who are you?" the lion growled. "We seek holy old man," Orlando said respectfully. The lion allowed them inside. They entered the cave and saw the holy old man sat in meditation on a mat with closed eyes. After some time, he opened his eyes and listened to the whole story. He said, "Yes, I know. The curse was given by a holy old man who has a very angry nature, but the curse is not unjust. Princess Genevieve indeed wronged him." Genevieve, full of regret, begged for a solution. "There is a way," the sage said. "On the next full moon night, when you become a peacock, the prince must guard you the entire night without sleeping for even a single moment. Many illusions will try to break his focus. If he sleeps, the curse will never break." "I am ready," Orlando said without hesitation. The sage blessed them, and they returned to the lake. There were 10 days until the full moon. Orlando trained himself to stay awake all night, taking cold baths, doing yoga, and practicing. Genevieve encouraged him, and their bond grew stronger. One day she said, "When the curse breaks, I will marry you." The prince was overjoyed. Finally, the full moon night arrived. Genevieve said to the prince, "Soon I will turn into a peacock." The prince kissed Genevieve on her forehead and said, "I will definitely free you from this curse. Even if it costs me my life, I would give it to save you." With teary eyes, Genevieve threw her arms around the prince's neck. As moonlight fell on Genevieve, she transformed into the 9-colored peacock again. Orlando sat beside her, determined. First test. He heard his mother's voice crying for help. It felt real, but he remembered the sage's warning. He stayed still. The illusion disappeared. Second test. A strong storm came, and a giant demon appeared, threatening to eat the peacock. Orlando fought bravely and defeated the demon. It vanished. It was only a spell. Third test. Beautiful heavenly 3 dancers appeared with sweet music, trying to make him sleepy. His eyes grew heavy, but when he saw tears in the peacock's eyes, he hit his cheek hard and shouted, "No, I won't sleep." The illusion vanished. Fourth and final test. The prince was exhausted, his body in pain, his eyes burning. Just before dawn, a divine light filled the forest. The holy old man appeared. He looked at Orlando and said, "You have shown true love, patience, and devotion. I am pleased." He touched the peacock and chanted magical words. A bright light flashed, and Genevieve regained her human form, glowing with divine light. The curse was broken. Genevieve burst into tears of joy. Orlando also cried. They hugged each other tightly. The holy old man blessed them and disappeared. At sunrise, birds chirped happily. The forest seemed alive with celebration. A few days later, Orlando brought Genevieve to Luminastra. The king and Orlando's 2 brothers were overjoyed. The kingdom celebrated grandly as Orlando and Genevieve married with great honor. In time, they had a beautiful son. Both kingdoms lived in peace and happiness. Thus ended the magical tale of the 9-colored peacock. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon for more beautiful content just like this. And yes, do leave a sweet comment for us. Your comments make our day even more beautiful.